everybody. It's Melissa, the unlikely hiker, here with a 3 years trailer update on the Rockwood GeoPro 14FK, which they don't even make anymore. So I will let you know what's going good. I'll let you know what might not be going good and what's happened. And we'll see how this little girl has held up over the past 3 years. So I did unwinterize, if you want to call it that, my trailer. I did fill it with water the other day prior to this little trip that I'm on with my puppy Ruby this weekend. And all is well there. I filled everything back up, pressurized the lines, water's flowing fine, all the faucets, showers, the outdoor shower, hot water heater, everything is working good as expected. The refrigerator still is a refrigerator that runs both off of gas and electric. Both are working fine. You know, one thing I've never actually used on this is the microwave. I'm thinking of taking that out and making more storage because I'm never plugged in. I've never even tried that. It's kind of embarrassing. I am still towing with my 4Runner. It is doing wonderful. Here's the trailer in all of its glory. Uh-oh. I'll tell you about the stairs in a minute. What are you doing? It's from the back. Everything is looking good. So I'm out here around the back of the trailer just to show you an example of one thing that I'm looking to fix if I get around to it this year. I'm not overly concerned, but I'll show you what went on. Stabilizers have rusted really fast. I don't know why, but all the factory paint has come off. This one in particular is pretty wobbly. I mean, it does the job, it stabilizes, but I'm not very happy with the way those have rusted out. Underneath looks pretty good. There's a little bit of rust going on. I should probably take care of that. There's a little bit of rust there. Now you have to remember that I do actually use this in the winter, so it's exposed to all the salt that's on the road. So this little girl here is going to corrode a little bit quicker, so I have to check the underside a little bit more frequently. As we know, rust is just a surface thing. Not a big deal, but I'm gonna have to pay closer attention to it because I do pull it out in winter conditions on average about 6 to 8 times per winter. This is my fault. I lost the top of this on a trip. So that is just a gardening pad for your knees. Does the job. I still have 2 batteries. They are working absolutely wonderful. The 2 propane tanks, absolutely wonderful. You can see a little bit. Hi, Ruby. Hi, baby. You can see a little bit more rust here. I'm just gonna sand some of it and paint it. Under here, I've actually got some of that white lightning that works really good. Despite the fact that the stabilizers look like this, they go up and down very well. So go figure. I think the thing that I'm unhappy with on the stabilizers is they seem wiggly. So I don't know if that's from here or here, but I just figured maybe if I can replace the stabilizers, that would just make me feel a little bit more comfortable. I added a little foot here. Not a big deal, but it works. When I bought my 4Runner, I got a movable battery. So this battery here, as you can see, is just zip tied down. That's working absolutely fine. There's the jacket that I never use because I can't figure it out. So in regards to the jacket, somebody actually asked me to make a video about how it works, and I would absolutely love to do that, but I really am not very good at it. I'm gonna have to look at some videos myself. I have put 2 bikes on this. This is really all it can carry. But when I did that, I broke my son's brake on his bike, and I scratched and dented my car. So clearly I'm doing something wrong. One change I made was I changed the tow hitch. I had a 2-inch drop before. I noticed that the trailer was tipping forward a little bit. So this comes out straight and it pulls perfect now. So no issues. That worked really good. There's the little table. That works fine. Hand grip, everything works fine. In here, your storage area. I did notice if you have this in regular mode for the seats, back there, right there, you can actually reach into this storage area from the inside of the trailer. So you see that? How there's an open spot? So in that open spot back there, I actually did have, I don't know, chipmunk, squirrel, mouse, something get in, and it got into the drawers, the bottom drawer on the inside of the trailer, and it was chewing on some food because I was camping and I left this open. So never leave that open, and just remember that it is not sealed and animals can get in. I think it should be sealed somehow. I don't know how to do it. I'm going to try and figure out how to block that off, but just so you know, it's open. Tires. I have had no problems with the tires. I did finally have to add some air into them, and it came, I think, with nitrogen-filled tires, and I just put regular air in, but I've only had to do that once, so they're doing really well. Stairs. So I did this. I was using the trailer where I ski, and it was a really cold day, and the stairs would not come down. They were frozen in place. So I just used them basically like a floating stair. Yeah, don't ever do that. So what ended up happening was the screws right here that mount the stairs on started pulling out of the floor because it's not designed to take the weight of a person. It's designed to hit the ground, and the ground supports the stairs. So I did that. So I ended up just taking the stairs out because frankly, for skiing and that kind of boondocking, I don't want the stairs out. And they took up, you know, probably 9 inches inside of the trailer. And I was walking in and out of the trailer in the winter with ski boots on and climbing over that. So it was kind of a hindrance. I put this step stool here. Even without the step stool, I can get in and out, no problem. So can the puppy. Emily, my daughter, is probably the only one that would have an issue with that. So we have the handy step stool. So I probably won't put the stairs back on. Maybe I will, but I might not. It makes it easier to clean without the stairs on. And moving on to the inside, I know I showed you guys my little kitchen update. Nothing has changed there except I have a ton of food in here for my vacation. The stove still works perfect. While I pressurize the lines, I'll talk about the sink for a minute. So the sink works fine. There's no problems, no issues. There's a leak that comes from around here. Where it's seated. It's not a bad leak, but it's gonna have to be caulked. I'm a little unsure of why that happened, but with all the rocking and rolling that the trailer does when I'm dragging it down roads, I guess I'm not too surprised. But I am going to take some caulk or putty and line the outside of here to seal it, and that should take care of it. That leak was new this year. I didn't have that problem before, so it could also have dried out over the winter and stuff like that. Not really sure, but not a big deal. But you should know about that happened. Water works great. I am probably destroying the seal up here, hanging a hanger up here, but I need storage more than I need that little tiny space covered, so I'm not too worried. I did get these bins up here to put my stuff in, holds it in place a little bit more. This is a little weak. I'll show you a better example of that in a few minutes. Toilet and shower, everything works fine. The light works. The fan works. There's a little piece of plastic in there. I gotta figure out how to get it out, but it works. The refrigerator is nice and cold. Freezer actually works really well. Right now you can see it's running off of gas. I do not have it on its coldest setting. This does a pretty good job of holding things in here. You don't want to put cans up here because they'll rattle around and knock things around. No complaints about the refrigerator. Locks into place nice and never opens. The air conditioner, I almost never use. The only time I use it is when it's sitting in my driveway and I have to do work on the inside during the summer and it's just a million degrees in here. To be very honest, I have never been boondocking in a place where it was so hot that I needed the air conditioner. Usually I'm in the shade and it's fine. I just don't need it. The windows being open is fine. Please pardon the absolute mess. I have had no further issues with any cabinets. I have repaired these cabinets last year in addition to that cabinet. And I haven't had any further issues with the cabinets since I did that. Everything works completely fine. Currently, this is how I have my closet space organized, although I do believe that this setup is going to change because I have a jackery and I want a place to store it. I could store the jackery where the microwave is if I get it out and build a little frame in there. That's definitely a possibility, and it would keep the cords a little away, but I might actually take part of this shelf apart and put the jackery in there. And I did get it with 2 solar panels, which I do not have on this trip, but I will try that out and let you know how it goes. And it's just a way to get a little bit more battery power for other things like portable DVD player or charging my phone, laptop. I don't really use my laptop when I'm out here, but it gives me an opportunity to use other things. Like what if I was going to be gone for a while and I wanted to bring my Instapot? I have no idea, but things like that I could even bring a crock pot. It just expands my battery life that I have while I'm boondocking. So completely forgive the mess back here, but it's me and the puppy. I have the bed in full mode right now. I did make one change to the bed. I took a piece of 1/2-inch plywood and put it under the bed because right in the center where the table is, it always sat a little bit lower. And for me, this just made it a little bit more sturdy for my daughter and for myself. When it's not in this mode and it's in single person mode, I just have the little bed in the back there, but I haven't had any issues with the cushions. I haven't had any issues with any of the plywood under the seats. I have not had any issues with the water pump, the water filter, or any of the electrical inside of the trailer. Everything still works as it should. These things here, I'm going to take those out, I think. I really hate them. These are good for blocking light, but I tried putting magnets on them. It came right off. I don't like the way the walls look. To me, it looks like a hotel in here. I might paint the wall, but that's going to require a level of commitment that I'm totally afraid of. I would almost rather use light blocking curtains on a rod that I feel like might look a little bit better. I did get these little storage baskets from Aldi's, actually. Yeah, got these from Aldi's. And they're just held up with that 3M super Velcro stuff. And you can see, just holds a bunch of crap. There's a bunch of food and videos over there. Up top, I have all my food. Dog food, junk food. And I got these baskets up here to help hold everything in place because we had a net failure. Look at this. This is because something fell out for a 1.5 hour trip. One of these baskets came forward. I'm actually going to use that 3M tape to secure these in place. I mean, there's just there's nothing to this net. Absolutely nothing. It's crap. It's really for show and nothing else. And from the beginning, I didn't really like it, but I left it there. So I have to decide what to do. I might just do some bungee across the top. My own bungee, not this bungee, because this, honestly, this seems very subpar. So I'm going to figure out what to do with this stuff up here. It is possible I might just take the netting out completely and just secure the baskets down. That would work in this case. So, yeah. This window, this thing is loose. I got to take a look at it. Sometimes if the window is closed and it's been sitting a while and it's stuck, you just twist it and it doesn't actually go anywhere. You have to go outside and pull the window open a little bit and then the arms will open. I don't know if this screw is loose or what's going on. Not a big deal, but you know, after 3 years, I feel like that really shouldn't be happening. The Wi-Fi Ranger and the radio do work. Haven't had any issues with that. Here's my control panel. Everything on here works as it should. You can see my battery even got recharged today while it was sitting in the sun, which is the only benefit to a sunny spot. So as you can see, 3 years. Wow. We've had a decent amount of trips in 3 years, not as much as I would like. It definitely didn't get out too much last year, but we've definitely put this thing through the ringer, and the fact that I use it in the winter, I think needs to say something. So overall, I'm still pretty happy with it. You know, what do I think is a little subpar at 3 years? Well, clearly the bungee, that's like horrible. And the stabilizer feet. Those should not be wiggling around. I don't think, at least. It just doesn't seem right to me. The sink leaking, not really that big of a deal. I can see where, you know, some of the caulk or whatever they use would dry out over the course of a few winters. So it only leaks if the water pump is on and you're using it. So it's not like a chronic issue. So am I still happy with it? Yeah, I am still happy with it. I think, with the exception of the couple things that I mentioned, it's performing very well. I actually bounced this off of a hitch, off of my hitch, in the rain on a dirt road. It was a very tough road, very bumpy, a lot of potholes, and the nose of the trailer slammed into the dirt road, no damage. So that's pretty good. With all the things that I've kind of done to it, using it in the winter, having a couple accidents with it like that, I think it's doing good. I really don't have any issues. So I still like it. I still kind of stand behind it. I still hate RV1. I curse them every time I drive by them, but I think it's a cute little trailer. If I were going to go out tomorrow and buy one, I would get one a little bit bigger, just because it would be nice to not trip over the dog or my daughter while I'm in here. But it's not that big of a deal because I use it by myself most of the time. But if you're 2 people, you're probably going to be more comfortable in something 16 feet instead of 14 feet. Anyway, so thanks for watching this video. I really appreciate you following to see how we're doing. So take care. Hope you're getting outside and living your life, because we certainly are. And have a great day. Thanks again for watching. Bye-bye. Ruby, you're not coming in the trailer tonight.